my God.
Hi.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
How you doing? Well, there's nobody on right now, so they're not doing that good.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
We're just gonna wait. If you're watching this recorded, that's how this goes. Hey, there's some. Now they're coming on. Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
I'm Chris.
Gini. What?
I am still Chris.
I'm still Gini.
Yep.
There you guys are. Hello, Penny, Brenda, Beverly Coldman. I know you're going to know what I'm talking about. I love your posts, and that's why I'm always hearting it. You have the greatest post ever.
She really hearts your post.
Mr. Harvey, hey.
Hey.
Donna, Shirley, Jerry, Ron, Jackie, everybody's getting on tonight. So tonight's topic is going to be really important.
Yeah.
And a lot of you asked this because every time we talk about a topic, it just happens to be that people have been calling in about that topic, and that's why we wind up discussing it. It is on how to protect your job while you're injured, the do's and the don'ts on what to do while you're on OWCP.
We had some don'ts that happened this week, and I thought I would just get on and talk about it.
Yeah.
So that you all don't repeat the don'ts.
Yeah. Kevin Hall, hello. Lisa Matthews, how are you, dear? Angela, Natalie, hello. Got your book this week. Thank you.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Jerry, thank you. So, we need you to share, because this is going to be a very, very important topic. Again, we're discussing how to protect your job once you're injured and the do's and don'ts while you're on OWCP. A lot of you are having a lot of frustration with the claims examiners, which we hear all day long.
Yeah.
All day long. So,
but it's a real gut punch to get your claim accepted and then do something, make a bad mistake and lose your job.
yeah. See, I'm going to have Jerry be our advocate soon because she's like, share everybody, and she's right.
Thanks, Jerry.
And we always say, share this even on your page. Your friends, your cousins, your family members may know somebody in the federal world.
Yeah.
I mean, I have friends that have nothing to do with anyone federally. And they share my stuff all the time, and I so appreciate it. Let's see. Shirley Hicks says, beautiful wedding pictures. You are beautiful.
Yes, she is.
You are too. Dr. Patron is on with Michelle. Diane said, I have a case from 2006 and reopened in June. They're telling me even though I already have a case, it still has to be reopened for pay. So we're going to cover all that. So Diane, as we go through and we start talking about our topic, shoot another message again.
Yeah.
So at the bottom of the page, there's a little share button right there.
Hit that button.
Right there.
Hit it.
Somewhere right there.
Hit share.
Hit share and post it. I know I said, I think it was in May, that we're going to do a giveaway soon. And I want to start that this month. I just have to sit and talk to the boss about what kind of giveaway we're going to do. Just, for you guys sharing, maybe a free book or a t-shirt. These are the t-shirts we have on the site. Can't Break Me, Breaking OWCP. There's hats. And what else
There's
is
Wednesday
on
night
there?
chats. There's other
some
ones.
Fun stuff on there.
Yeah.
So,
you have to go to the apparel tab on the website, breakingowcp.com.
Yeah.
If you want to get some of that stuff.
So I know a lot of you, if you guys can hold off on your questions just a bit, but come back in about 5-10 minutes and ask them. We're going to
No, don't go anywhere. Stay here.
Well, come back. Be quiet. So you guys saw that I posted, we're doing bulk books now. We have 25, 50, is it, and 100?
Mm-hmm.
25, 50, and 100. And this is for those union presidents, stewards, whatever union you're in, to buy them by bulk and get a huge discount off of it. And it was so funny. I was telling Chris we're going to do a Christmas in July special. He's like, I've never heard of that. And I know.
Because I'm pretty sure it's in December, but she says it's in
Yes.
July now.
How many of you
I
have
don't
heard
know.
Christmas in July sale? Because we're going to do this. So while everybody's hopping on, those of you that missed, you're going to have to listen to this on the replay. On 4th of July, we're going to do a 10-minute live. And if I were you, I'd hop on because it's going to be a Christmas in July special that we're going to do. It's just a 24-hour thing. So we'll open it at, midnight to the next midnight, one entire day. It'll be a 4th of July special, but it's also a Christmas in July sale. So we won't tell you what it is, but you'll hopefully hop on then to see what we're talking about. Those of you that haven't gotten Chris's book, please remember to put your order in. It's a great book.
Where do they find it?
They find it at www. I think I had too many W's.
Just use 3 W's.
Breaking OWCP, and I know a lot of
.com.
AFGE have been sharing the posts, and everybody's been ordering it from AFGE, the union members. We thank you guys so much because you guys are buying mass quantities. Mail handlers, they're buying it in mass quantities. So buy it. If you're buying 1, buy 2. You and somebody else. We're trying to let all the 8 million federal employees get this in your hand. So topics like this is not so hard for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really, OWCP is really frustrating. You all know it. That's why you're here. And with this lockdown and some other things that happened, it made it impossible for me to continue to go and train you live. We have this. We're thankful that you're here watching, but this book was written so that you can have everything I could ever teach you about getting a claim accepted and sort of sidestepping the problems that people have that lead to just personal disaster. So thanks everybody that's gotten the book, and the rest of you come and get it. And for you union presidents that, you understand what a problem this is. It's a crisis. People going through work injuries and not being able to get their claims accepted. For those of you presidents that understand that, that's why we added the bulk book section to the website, breakingowcp.com, so that you can buy, several copies at a discount and distribute it to your members. We think you should do that. Your members need the information. Your stewards need the information because your members want your stewards to have the training and know what to do, when they run into these problems. So go on there and purchase them in bulk. They're discounted for that, and like always, there's no shipping. We're trying to make it easy for everyone to get it.
Please talk amongst yourselves. Oh, also, go ahead and tell them about their what you want them to send to you.
Yeah, so I'd really appreciate your input. I'm going to have another couple of books coming out, and I haven't started writing either of them. I've got them in my head, but one of them is going to be Volume 2 of Breaking OWCP, and I'm interested in what topics do you want to see in there that aren't in the first volume. And, I'll write about that and make sure you have it. And, I think it shouldn't take more than 2 volumes to get all the information. Hopefully it won't. So I'd like to be very thorough and make the second volume, whatever is missing in the first. And then also, I'd love it if you would send me your stories. Those of you that have had OWCP dilemmas, that you were hurt at work and just bad things happen, and I don't want to go through what all the bad things are because you know what they are. But I'd really like your story because most people think that they're the only one and that they're all alone. And I'd like to be able to write about it, but to write about it, I have to be able to hear about it. So email your story to me. They don't need to be perfect. Don't worry about editing. That's not important to me. And my email address is chris@federalinjurycenters.com. And if you'll send that stuff to me, it would be really helpful to everyone else who hasn't gone through what you've gone through. And they think that, the world's out to get them because of OWCP. And we can show them that, they're not alone. So please send that stuff to me, chris@federalinjurycenters.com.
All right, so I was just posting there to some of the places. Okay, so if you haven't got your book, hop on.
Excuse me.
Before or after, during, whatever you want. Put in an order in for somebody that you know that's going to need it. It's, again, Christmas in July sale.
And tell your union presidents that you want them to have the book. because you do, and many of them may not even know it exists. It's not like I'm out there just promoting the crap out of this thing. Like, a lot of you just don't know. And I could do a better job, but really this is, I feel weird selling it. I don't want to seem salesy. I wrote it because you need the help. That's it. So be sure it gets in people's hands.
Let's see. Tiara said, "Hi, Jeannie and Chris. I ordered
Hi.
a book, so I thought, but never received one. No clue how to confirm. Please help. We will go ahead and take care of that as soon as the live is over."
Yeah, one thing that's happened, it was so weird. Some of the books were held up in like mail stations for over a week.
Yeah.
And I have the tracking on them. And there's been a lot of weird stuff going on, as you all know. And so if you just wait till this is all over, I'll tell you where the tracking's at. But as of right now, every book that's ever been ordered has been mailed. And nothing has been returned to me. So I can only assume that it's stuck in some mail facility and it will get out.
All right. Kevin Hall. See, he said yes. He's heard of Christmas in July.
Oh, well, that's
and
two.
the Christmas movies are out. I posted that on my page to let you guys know. Have something exciting to look forward to instead of this news and just drama going on. So,
All right.
Mary said, "Awesome book. I ordered 2, one for myself and one for a union steward."
Great. Thank you.
Ron Jackson said, "I finished reading mine. Can I send it back for a refund?" Ron's always cute.
Ron, you're a funny guy.
Thanks, Jennifer, for helping me. My second shoulder surgery paid by DOL July 15th. Awesome.
Good.
Lynn Riggs said, "I got approved last week. Thank you for your encouragement." Coney said, "Hello, love the book. Thank you. For the next book, how about MMI and impairment ratings and what happens next?"
Well, that was in the first book. So tell me what you thought was missing. I'd be happy to talk about that even on a Wednesday night chats too.
Yeah. All right. So we'll come back to the book afterwards.
Yeah.
So again, share, and go ahead and start posting your questions now. So tonight's topic is going to be how to protect your job
When you're hurt at work.
when you're hurt at work, and the do's and don'ts for OWCP. Okay.
Yeah. So this week, what happened and what instigated this topic is there was a patient in one of the offices who, prior to coming to us, was seeing another doctor. And the other doctor wrote a CA-17 sending him back to work with restrictions. And then the guy just decided not to go back to work. That's a big mistake. If you feel like your CA-17 is incorrect, you should communicate with your doctor and make sure the doctor knows that you don't think you can do the job the way the doctor thinks you can. And you guys come to some agreement, on what should be on your 17. The bottom line is, once your CA-17 is signed by the doctor and into the supervisor, you are required to follow it. They're required to follow it, the supervisor, the agency, but you are as well. And so this guy didn't go back to work and lost his job. And then wanted us to go back and say that he couldn't work. Well, the problem was it was another doctor who said he could. It wasn't us. And so that's a real dilemma, an ethical dilemma that, a line we couldn't cross. So the first thing I want to tell you is that when your doctor writes a CA-17 sending you to work, you have to go. Now, if your supervisor sends you home, you'll get paid. Your documentation for your CA-7 is that your supervisor wouldn't give you work, even though the doctor said you could work. So you'll get paid to be off of work, but you have to attempt to go back. And then if you go back and it's not working out for you, but the work's too hard, it's causing pain, and you feel like you're getting worse, then you go back to your doctor and you tell them that it's not working, and let them reevaluate you and write a new CA-17. But the number one thing I can tell you is when you get a CA-17 from your doctor, follow it. Go back to work. That's really, really important. And I always say this when we were teaching in live events, that the easiest way to get paid, the surest way to be paid, is to clock in.
Yeah.
And if you're at work, you're clocking in, then they have to pay you. So definitely do that for yourself, because when you're off of work, you have to go through the hassle of the CA-7s and 7As and all the documentation. But if you go, you attempt it, and your supervisor sends you home, then you're going to be paid almost automatically. So don't skip out of work when the doctor says you can work with restrictions. Follow your 17. The other thing is when you're going to call out of work, there's a phone number you have to call, like an 800 number.
Yeah.
And you need to do that. We had another person who wasn't calling the number and letting letting them know they were going to be out, and they were fired or threatened to be fired, and the union had to get involved with that. But there's only so many times your union's going to be successful. So be sure you're calling the number and make sure that they know that you're calling out of work. And follow doctor's orders.
So I'm going to bring this up to Chris so he remembers, because we're talking about the same guy. Remember the guy that you are talking about said he got one CA-17 from one doctor, and when he was going to the DOL doctor, he got it from an ortho. When he was seeing the DOL doctor said he couldn't fill out another CA-17 or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get your 17 from your treating physician. You don't need multiple 17s coming around. You can't get one from multiple doctors. They're not going to accept it. So be sure they're all coming from one doctor who's your designated treating physician.
Okay, let's see. First question.
Hey, does everybody get the point? Go back to work when the doctor tells you to. Because when you don't, they're going to try to fire you. And that's critically important. That's what I said earlier. You go through all the trouble and the pain of getting your claim accepted, and then it's a freaking gut punch to lose your job afterwards because you didn't follow your CA-17. So don't do that. Stay in communication with your doctor. Make sure you're doing what the doctor says.
What about FMLA?
Yeah, so FMLA is the other way to protect your job. So when you have to be out of work and you don't have an accepted claim, then it's hard to protect your job, even with a 17. But everyone has access to Family Medical Leave Act, and so get the forms and have your doctor fill that out. And you get 120 days a year on that. Some agencies, I think, even let you have more. But when you need to be out and you don't have an accepted claim, Family Medical Leave is the way to go, because they can't fire you when you're on FMLA.
So those are the do's.
Yeah.
Some of the do's. We'll get into more as it.
And the don't is definitely don't skip out on work when your doctor says you can work.
Yeah.
That's a death sentence to a job. They'll get rid of you.
It was so funny because we had lunch with the president one day, and one of the state presidents, and we were talking about FMLA, and I said, because I was in the legal field and they have investigators when you're trying to file your car accident stuff, and I said, do you have investigators that follow people around, like all the federal people, to see what they're doing? And he said absolutely, and he was discussing one right there with us. Somebody they said their shoulder was hurting and he was picking up a tire from Sam's Club or something, and
they're watching. Just assume they're watching.
And they're watching, so you guys be careful. I mean, be honest about your injuries. If you're going out, if you're really injured, then you can't pick up a tire if you have a shoulder issue.
Yeah, and another thing, like a real common thing that happens is someone will be on restriction, and maybe they can only lift 10 pounds. I'm just picking a number. And then they get seen picking up a big bag of dog food. Well, that's probably more than 10 pounds. So you just have to be very careful. If you can't lift the weight, don't attempt it. If you can, let your doctor know so they can adjust your CA-17. But be sure you don't catch yourself or get caught out doing things that would be outside of your work restrictions, because they're gonna try to hammer you on that.
Yeah.
And believe me, they're watching. It's crazy. You won't even know what's happening. Someone's gonna be following you, taking pictures.
I've seen those people, not in the federal world, but I've seen them in the legal world.
It does happen.
It does happen. And we got confirmation from the state president.
And then it gets back to your job, and it's one more way that you can lose it. And we want to protect your job.
And then your supervisor's on you, management's on you, so be careful.
Yeah.
All right, Rebecca, I know you guys, Mr. Harvey, we did see your comment about things to talk about in the next book.
Yeah.
Chris will be pulling those comments when he starts writing the next book. So go ahead and post your comments that you want in the second book, and he'll go through them. So if we're asking you again, just don't worry about that. We're still just asking. All right, Rebecca, you said, I have a claim that was accepted. Saw an orthopedic surgeon. Does that mean my surgery was accepted?
Well, no, not necessarily. Surgeries are only going to be approved based on your diagnosis, your approved condition. So let's say that your approved condition is a sprain. They'll never approve surgery on a sprain. Let's say that you have a herniated disc. Now they might. Let's say your knee is sprained. They will not. But you have a torn ligament in your knee. They will. It depends on the approved condition on whether or not they will approve surgery. It's all about the diagnosis, 100%. But hey, great that your claim's approved, but now you got to make sure your doctor has the right diagnosis on your claim.
Yeah. Tina Hines said, I broke my wrist and thumb on March 2nd, 2020. Had surgery on my wrist March 11th, 2020. Now OWCP has stopped my pay, saying my thumb was pre-existing. What the F? Never had trouble with that hand before.
Yeah, that's going to require a narrative from your doctor. So take that letter that says you have a pre-existing condition, take it to the doctor, and have them write a narrative report explaining how that's wrong. The doctor's reports will always clear that up. Unless they're written very poorly, and it could make the situation worse. So make sure it's a good report.
Marianne Golden says, tip, when going for a second opinion, get copies of all medical documents. Take your car scans, MRI, or anything you have. DOL says they send a copy, but they do not send a copy of everything. The second opinion doctor can only make a form an opinion based on the information they have. That's so true.
Yeah, that's right. And often the second opinion doctor, I've been told by injured people, that the doctor spends like 2 minutes with them and doesn't even touch them. And so if you have all your records and you show it to the doctor, you can make the doctor, take a look and make a better decision in your favor.
Jody McBride said, have you had time to check my situation? How long is my position held? Jody, did you send it to me or Chris?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let me know, and I'll have him, as soon as we're done, we're going to check that and then message you personally so we could take care of that.
Yeah, no offense. I mean, we get thousands of these things, and so I'm happy to help those. So if you're one that I missed, I won't miss it twice.
Coney, I hope I'm saying your name right there. I have 2 claims. One is a CA1 and the other is a CA2. I was told I can only have one schedule award. Is this correct?
That is not correct. Now, you can only have one schedule award if it's on the same body part. Like if it's your right shoulder for a CA1 and your right shoulder for a CA2, you're probably not going to get 2 schedule awards for the right shoulder.
Jody Rogers says, if you're filing an appeal, do you continue to file your CA7s?
Yeah, definitely. The claims examiners tell you to file them every 2 weeks, and so you want to do that. You may get denials, but the denials always say why, and you'll be able to appeal that. I would definitely continue turning in your CA7s.
Melissa Campbell said, my supervisor stated I don't need to call the 1-800 number because they know it's an ongoing thing. Should I document the statement or call the number? Call the number and document.
I'd do both.
We were asked this question over the phone once. We had somebody that was coming down to the Clearwater office, and she was going through a bunch of stuff, and we asked her union president. They said no matter what, call the 800 number. Doesn't matter.
Now you don't have to call every day. Let's say let's say you're going to be off of work for 2 straight weeks. You call today and say I'll be out for 2 weeks,
Yes.
and then 2 weeks later you make another decision on if you're calling again.
I do remember that state president saying, like Chris said, make sure that you're calling right when that 2 weeks is done, because something will happen. You know how they are, their supervisors. So try not to, get into a...
It's your job in your life. I wouldn't take the supervisor's word. What if that supervisor gets replaced and the next one comes in and has no idea that conversation happened? So, protect yourself.
Yeah. Nancy, good evening. Angela Thornton, I have a torn meniscus in my left knee, but I just got approved last month to have surgery. But due to all the corona going on, it prolonged my surgery, and my right knee is hurting worse than my left now. So should I make another claim for my other knee for compensating the left?
Well, okay. The answer is if it's because of the injury, then yes. If it's not, then no. But it sounds like you're saying that because of the left knee, the right knee is now hurting. And that's called a consequential condition. And your doctor can add that to the left knee claim by writing a consequential injury narrative.
Ron Jackson says, if you go to a DOL doctor and he states that you need to retire and he writes retired on the CA-17, do you have to retire? What do I do?
I've never even heard of a DOL doctor telling you should retire. I would probably dispute that with the doctor and have them do a better job. I mean, what doctor has the right to tell you to retire? That's your personal decision. So I don't think so. Now, the doctor can say you definitely can't work, that you're totally disabled from your job and you're out of work, but there's no place on a CA-17 to write retired. I'm not sure what that would be about.
Yeah.
That sounds a little sketchy.
I was about to say that. Rebecca says, claim was approved thanks to your help. It was torn meniscus and frayed ligament in the knee.
Ouch.
Yikes. Well, we're glad it got accepted so you can take care of that.
Yeah, we love accepted claims.
Diane Russell said, already had 2 back surgery and I'm going out again for my back. How long does it take to reopen my case?
Well, there's no time frame. Claims examiners don't have a time frame. What has to happen is your doctor writes reports and sends in billing, and then you'll get letters back from Department of Labor, and they'll tell you what to do next. But there's really no time frame. They don't have anything in writing. You want to call your claims examiner daily if that's what it takes. So.
Kevin Hall said, DOL wants to send their own nurse. The examiner said their job is to get you back to work ASAP. Yeah. What if you're still off with medical? Does the DOL override your treating physician? What if you can't work?
No, the treating physician is 100% in charge in DOL. The nurse case manager is there to facilitate whatever needs to get done to help you get back to work faster, but they can't make you go back to work if the doctor says you can't. They don't have the authority to do that.
Correct. Hey, Tish.
Hey.
Tish is the VA state president for AFGE here in Florida, and she just sent me a cute picture the other day that she got her book. I have to post that one. I did 10 Yells in Alabama.
That was a very cute picture.
It was a cute. That's your guy, Tish. Jody McBride said, I had my condition approved. I had surgery 8/19. I have been having continued complication. Finally received an authorization for follow-up CAT scan, which exhibited my meniscus did not heal. Did my ACL anchor, so I still have a torn meniscus and a torn ACL. My doctor wants to perform an arthroscopic procedure to repair my damage. DOL has refused further treatment. Also, our supervisors are CCAs. They are telling the other employees they received an email stating that I had quit. Whoa.
Well, that's weird. I'd get the union involved. Get the union involved with the quit letter because that's BS. If Department of Labor is denying your surgery, there's a reason. Find out what that reason is, and then overcome it. Ultimately, you're going to win that and get the surgery. So you just have to overcome denials. That's part of the deal here.
Valerie Miller said, second opinion needed. Surgeon, not federal OWCP provider. A lot are reluctant to accept post-op claimants. Yeah. 4 months after rotator cuff surgery, cannot do my job yet, but current doctor ready to release. Exactly, doctor. Whoops, Exactly, doctor didn't even touch me. Attorney now. Is she doing the right thing? Yeah.
So first of all, your treating doctor's got to do a better job. And if they're not, you're not happy with your doctor, you have options there to change doctors. And the second opinion doctor is probably going to try to hose you, so you got to be careful with that. Whatever happens as a result of a second opinion evaluation, your treating physician should write a narrative and response to keep things on track. This happens. And which, by the way, let me just tell you, so go back to my website, breakingowcp.com. There's a new tab on there with some free downloads. And they're all forms. One of them is a form for changing treating physicians. Now, listen closely. These are not approved OWCP forms. These forms came out of my brain. And as a result of seeing people with serious problems related to these forms, one of them will help you change treating physicians. There's no guarantee it will work. They can definitely deny your request, but people don't know how to do it, so I gave you one. There's also a form to help you get your CA-16 from your supervisor. Because CA-16s are hard to get, unfortunately, even though the law says you have to get it within 4 hours, and the book tells you about that law, you're not getting it. So I made a form to help you get your CA-16s from your supervisor. And I also gave you a form to help you document when you're out and you want to get paid with your CA-7s. There's another one in there. Anyways, it'll come to me what it is in a second. But go check out the free forms at breakingowcp.com. I can't guarantee they'll work, but I can guarantee they'll help. What's the next question?
Cheryl Brown said, I have a broken fibular bone, had surgery, and had a plate and 6 screws put in there. Is there a schedule award?
Yes. 100% yes.
So you have to work on getting your schedule award.
Yeah.
And I know I posted, I think maybe like 2 weeks ago, if anybody's having any schedule award issues, only issues, or you need a doctor that we can't help you find, or federal personal injury. I put the picture of Eric Blowers. I know you guys saw, he came to our wedding reception.
Yeah.
And I asked him, hey, can I put this picture up of you so people can put a face to the name? And he was excited that I actually did it, and his phones won't stop ringing.
Yeah.
So keep blowing him up.
And check out chapter 13 in the book is all about schedule awards.
So chapter 13 in Breaking OWCP. There we go.
It'll tell you some stuff you didn't know already.
All right. Tish said, thanks. Love you guys. We
Love
love
you
you
too.
too, Tish. Mr. Harvey said, injury a year ago, not enough hours for FMLA, and may need surgery for injury. Where do I stand with maintaining my job?
Well, if your claim's accepted and you need to be off of work after surgery, your CA-17 will take you off of work, and that'll protect your job. You also have Family Medical Leave Act you can use. It's every year you get 120 days, so that's another way you can protect your job.
Okay, Kevin Hall says, how long can your doctor have you off work? Will you lose your job if it goes over a year?
Well, it depends on your craft, on the over a year thing.
Yeah.
And how long can a doctor keep you off of work? There's no rule for that, because your personal situation is different than everyone else's. So it's not like they could mandate that every person has to be back at work at X number of days or weeks or months, because your injury is different than everyone else's. What I'll say is attempt to get back. Make every effort possible to get back, because there are timelines. I mean, depending on your craft, once you hit 1 year or 2 years, they're going to start making decisions that are going to be, adverse to your life. And so understand what yours is. Talk to your unions. Stay in touch with them. And but whatever you do, just try to get back with restrictions as fast as you can.
I see somebody giving me a bunch of hearts and thumbs up. It won't stop, and I don't know who it is.
I'm sure those are for me.
It's probably from the kids.
Go ahead.
Mimi King says, so if you win OWCP for cervical herniations with radiculopathy and I can never say that word.
Myelopathy.
What? I know, I can't. Never mind. Should I or can I go after an award?
Okay, so you're talking about cervical. There's no schedule award for cervical unless there are radiating symptoms into the hands, arms, and then potentially yes.
All right. Angela Spite says, sustained traumatic brain injury June 2019 due to a fall. Jeez. Didn't receive good care. Went to your recommendation, gave great narrative, but advised they were not taking my case. Case was approved. Went to a DOL doctor visit with case, who told doctor I had to be back at work by the next week. I advised treating DOL doctor I could not think. Huh.
Yeah. Give us a call tomorrow. 877-787-6927, and I'll get you in touch with Jennifer, our case manager, and we'll see how we can help you out with that.
Yeah, Jennifer's on here. Jennifer, go ahead and put
Post your number.
number.
Post your number, Jennifer.
Yeah. Ron Jackson says, I love this shirt and cap. Oh, Ron, that's right. You did buy a
Man,
shirt.
and it took long
and
enough for
cap.
him to get it. So Ron ordered a shirt and cap like early on, and with COVID, I think the place we get shirts from only had like one person working, and they were on break. It took forever. I ordered my shirt way before Ron, you ordered yours, and I got mine after you. So I think they've gotten it together now, and shipments are going out.
Jody McBride, this is cute. You two keep rattling my brain. My DOL doctor told me what exactly the DOL would approve. I will send you his name when I can find it. Columbus, Ohio area. He's 80. He was great. We are looking for someone in Columbus.
Yeah. We're looking throughout Ohio right now.
Mary Golden says, you can change doctors only one time. However, a doctor can use what is called a golden ticket and make your request from the doctor to allow you to become his or her patient. So that actually gives you 2 chances to change doctors.
I've never heard anything about a golden ticket, although I really like the way that sounds. But you potentially could change doctors more than once. I mean, there are circumstances that would definitely allow it. The other thing is the doctor can release you from care and say, I don't want to be your doctor anymore, and make that official, which would theoretically allow you to go find another doctor. But I like that golden ticket thing.
Yeah, that's cute. I'm
I
just
haven't-
sorry. I know. I'm just like stuck on that, thinking that's neat.
Never heard of the golden ticket.
Amy Nunez says, first thing I asked was for a CA16. Chiropractor refused to touch me after X-rays and MRI. Going to see a neurologist. Apparently C5 and C6 is herniated and pushing into my spinal column. Just sitting here waiting to see what's going to happen.
Well, you have a CA16. That's good. So many people don't. And so you ought to be able to see whatever doctor you want, and they'll take that 16 instead of taking your money. And take care there. But yeah, I've heard that before where chiropractors don't want to do adjustments on the neck, especially when there's damage there. So that's probably really good and smart on your chiropractor's part.
Trina Perkins says, I've been on work comp for 4 years, 2 hip surgeries. I'm a rural carrier. My route went up for bid and there's no light duty. What would they send me to do? Plus, I feel there is no way I'm able to deliver again. Aww.
Yeah, I don't know what they would send you to do. It makes me think of federal disability, which I hate to discuss. I don't think that's a good deal for anybody. I will put that in my volume 2. Even though it's not really OWCP, it does include OWCP. That may be the route you have to go. I don't know your situation, but it sounds pretty bad.
Angela says, continuation, case nurse and doctor did not want to hear. Said I'd feel better at work. I could not think or drive there.
They said you'd feel better at work. I don't know how they could know that.
All right, somebody just said, please don't use my name. Okay. Kevin Hall said, it's me sending hearts to both of you. Aw, thanks. Hashtag my heroes. Aw. Mimi King said, yes, I have that issue with my hands and arms. Cheryl Brownie said, my COP ends on July 9th. How soon should I file a CA7?
Well, if your claim's not accepted, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to get paid until your claim's accepted. Hopefully it is. And if it is, you start filing your CA7s right away. If it's not, begin filling out your CA7s right away. Keep all your documentation and be ready. As soon as your claim is accepted, you send it all in.
Mimi said, thank you. Yeah, you'll call Eric, no problem. Mr. Harvey said, FMLA has said I don't have enough hours, only 953 hours, and I need 1250. Concerned if I'll have surgery, OWCP will not ensure I'll be able to keep my job.
Well, OWCP doesn't make the decision on whether or not you keep your job. Your agency does that. And if you're working with your union and they're, strong, they should be able to help you in that way. Once you have surgery, your CA-17 is going to take you off of work and protect your job. They can't fire you for being off with a work injury that's approved. Unless you just choose not to go to work when you could work. I think you're going to be okay, but I also want you to communicate with your union and make sure that they're protecting you as well. That's their job. That's what, where they come in is, protecting you.
Yep. If you have one surgery and are about to have a second surgery on a different body part, I will be out for more than a year. I am a regular city carrier. What happens after a year is up? Do I lose my benefits?
I don't know about your benefits. We're just stepped out of OWCP and into things not related. You need to get with your union on that. I'm not sure what's going to happen to your personal benefits. It would be my understanding that as long as you're employed there, you have your benefits, but definitely get with your union, talk to your reps, your president, whatever, and get that information.
Anthony says, sustained traumatic brain injury after getting hit from behind in a mail truck. OW refused my claim, kept fighting. 3 months later, suffered a stroke because of the injury. Spent 9 days in ICU. OWCP assigned me to a nurse. Come to all my appointments. All good now. Anthony, make sure you also, if you haven't reached out to Eric Blowers for your injury.
Yeah, you need that.
You definitely need that. And you don't have to pay anything out of pocket for that.
Yeah,
for
and
federal personal injury.
This is in the book, but what you need to know is you're required by OWCP to pursue the third party, the person who rear-ended you. And to do that, you generally need a lawyer. And so Eric Blowers is the best at that, and you need to give him a call.
Yeah.
And by the way, you get 20% of the settlement after expenses. You got to do this. If you have questions about it, it's in here, but you can also call us. But you got to call Eric. Don't do this without a lawyer, especially in your case. Definitely don't.
Ouch. Anthony says, can I get a schedule award for the dent left in my skull after surgery?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh.
I think so. And by the way, Chapter 12 is third-party injuries, and you're 20%.
Yeah, so, Anthony, you definitely should call Eric Blowers.
Like first thing tomorrow.
That.
First thing tomorrow.
That's scary, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. Don't be alone on this deal. You need somebody that knows what they're doing.
Jody says to Mr. BK, good evening. If you were injured on the clock, do not file for FMLA. You're a postal employee from the first day you went to training. I was injured about 3 weeks in. I had been off work for the prior year following an active shooting. It took a lot of work. I had to call. It was approved. I received all OWCP benefits.
So I agree, but except for this, I mean, when your claim's not accepted, there's really nothing that, especially when you get a denial, that you have to overcome. There's nothing that protects your job better than FMLA. It's a personal decision if you want to take it or not, but just understand that when you use it, it does protect your job.
Yeah.
And when your claim's accepted, you don't need it anymore. Your CA-17s take care of it.
Yeah, Jerry, Eric Blowers is the best, and he is an honorable man.
He is.
Hey, Byron, how are you doing in Alabama?
Hey, what's up?
Hope you got your book.
Yeah, we miss you guys.
We do miss you.
I can't wait to get back there.
Let me know, because we want you guys to get this for your stewards out there. Jody says, my union, Athens, Ohio, sucks. Do not want to be associated with the two of you. Oh, you did tell me this.
That's okay. We don't care about that.
Do you have cooties down there in the Sunshine State?
No, I don't use those. I don't have cooties anymore.
If I was a union president of being eating up all your information. Hey, so we know the state presidents in Ohio, and we came to the convention before, twice I think, and they love us, and if the president has a problem, he could take it up with them, I guess. But it's okay. We hear this all the time,
Look,
and we're here to help you guys, not the union presidents, if they don't want the help.
Well, I mean, them as well if they want it, but honestly, I don't care. I'm here for you, and it's not a popularity contest. I don't have to be liked. I just have to give you good information. So, I mean, honestly, it's weird not being liked. It hasn't happened to me a lot in my life. I'm not a total jerk.
I don't like him. Meaning him. Yeah. I just live with him.
Hey, but we love you, and
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. And anybody who's union rep or president says they hate us, but they never met us, you might want to consider that they might not really know what they're talking about. Because whoever that is, I've never met them before.
Yeah. I think he's the one that has the cooties.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let them know, that's fine. Mimi says, I've spoken with him before, but won my case without him, so I'll see what he has to say about my award for herniation.
Yeah, good.
So when you guys call, not all the time you're going to get to talk to Eric unless his secretary schedules a call that requires you to speak to him. But if it's really important, let him know that you want to speak to him, and he'll do like a 10-15 minute free consultation over the phone. Zulma, I will put Eric's information again back after we are done.
Yeah.
Mimi said, you guys are totally likable. Well, thank you.
Thanks. We really appreciate that.
Kara Henderson said, I wish there was a way to prevent so many injuries in the post office.
Me too.
So many injuries and so much fighting for recovery and our rights. And you know what? It's not only you guys as USPS.
It's every agency.
All federal agencies nationwide. I mean, we have people in Puerto Rico as well that are like dying for us to come there and do our live training and help them. And there's just people that just don't want the help or don't feel that the help is needed for you guys. This is why we do it on here.
Yeah, we do it here because, we can't be blocked here. And, as a postal employee, 1 out of 3 injured people has a accepted claim. The other 2 don't. But, like, at the VA, it's 1 out of 18, or it's something ridiculous. If you work on a base, it's 1 out of 35. It's really, the other agencies are struggling even worse if you can believe that. And that's why I wrote the book, because it actually applies to all of you.
For some reason, this eye looks distorted.
Yeah, and I look like I'm about to fall asleep, and
I don't know
not.
why. So those of you, don't get creeped out, because
No,
my
hey,
eye is normally not
Let
like
me see.
that.
Let me see.
No, when I'm looking
No,
at
that's
it.
that's a good looking eye.
So I'm going to squint like this.
That's a good looking eye.
Quiet. Hey, Dr. Roshanwala, how are you?
Hey.
Christina Marie said, I had a rotator cuff surgery. What kind of tests can you do to show that you can't do repetitive motion?
Well, they have a test called a functional capacity evaluation, FCE, and its whole purpose is to see what you can and can't do at work. So ask your doctor for that.
If injured while on the job due to a bad motor vehicle accident and out for over a year, do you lose your route?
Well, again, that's a union question. You should go ask them. Lots of times you're going to get your route back, but your union needs to be fighting for you. And, also you're hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, so be sure you protect your rights there too. Go after the third party, use a lawyer, and then pocket the 20% after of the settlement after expenses.
Yeah. Ron Jackson said, if no one said it, thank you for all the great information you guys provide. I love you all.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. We love you too. Thanks.
Evans Juice.
What's up?
Mr. Singh. Zolma said, thank you. I'm already have right shoulder surgery and neck 5, 6, and 7 fusion.
Ouch.
Yikes. BK Harvey said, claim was approved last September, given field nurse for 3 months, then the nurse was taken off my case. Mm-hmm. The nurse did get me a specialist in state and helped him approve. Still seeing what the specialist regular. Work limited work duties 6 days a week.
So that goes to show you, there are nurse case managers out there that are going to work in your interest, so that's good. It sounds like that one did.
Valerie says, job and workers' comp threatened after surgeon was vague in CA 17.
Yeah. No
lifting over 10 pounds with operative arm. Yes. Wish I went to Eric. Too late. Retained Devidos law. Cannot change as I signed a retainer. Stuck and worried. Any advice?
Hold on. So I know them. The Devidos law firm is a good firm. I've known them for years. So I would go ahead and do whatever they tell you to do. They know their stuff. Bobby and Deborah Hauser over there. There's probably new ones I don't know, but those are good lawyers.
Sorry.
I don't know what's up with that.
Dr. Patron, Michelle Patron. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Have to tell you, had a patient today bring in your book to my office today. Great job, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you don't have 25 or 50 of them yourself. Give them out to your patients.
Yes.
Come on, man.
All the doctors that we've trained and all the upcoming Federal Injury Centers franchises needs to buy the bulk books to start giving them out to your patients.
Yeah, and for the doctors listening, the whole point of this is that you're going to make your patients' lives way easier when they have this information because they don't understand what's going on. It's hard. It's so hard, and that's why I wrote the book. So, hey, help them out.
Yeah. I know a lot of you got all my texts about the bulk. There's a reason I sent it out.
That she's talking to the doctors now.
Yeah, help the patients. Union presidents, help your stewards and your employees when they're stuck. Nicole said, work comp sent me on an FCE.
Yeah, and they're tough. Back half a life ago, I used to be an FCE tester for a doctor's office, so I know almost everything there is to know about FCEs, but one thing I know for sure is that's a hard test. If you're the hurt person taking the test, that can be rough. Those things last up to 4 hours. 4 hours of hard work. Really hard work.
Jerry says, is there a time limit after you have surgery that OWCP makes you go back to work before you lose your job? If you're not ready to go back to work, shoulder injury.
Yeah, it's not a time limit OWCP has. It depends on your craft. And so your union and your agency has a contract, so you need to know what's in there. Because each craft is a little different. The time frames are a little different. Anyways, it's not OWCP that makes the decision. It's the agency, and your union needs to be involved. Good luck with that.
I blanked out what I was... so as we were talking, our topic today has been how to protect your job while you're on OWCP, when you've been injured on your job. And I know there's a lot more of you that have came on since Chris was talking. So while I pin the comment down below where to buy the book, I'll have Chris just kind of recap that, what you need to do and how to protect yourself when you're injured and being on OWCP.
Yeah, so it's really two main things. Number one, when your doctor writes a CA-17 and send you to work even with restrictions, show up to work. We had somebody who didn't and lost their job because, you know, they're basically AWOL. The doctor said they could go to work and they didn't do it. So don't go against your doctor's orders. When they send you to work, you should go. And like I've said, the best way to get paid is to clock in. And when you go to work on restrictions, if your supervisor says you can't, you know, they have no work for you, they send you home, you're going to get paid. That's like going to be automatic. You'll use that as documentation on your CA7s. So don't skip out on work when your doctor says you can work. Go there, clock in, and make the supervisor send you home, or find work that works for your restrictions. The other thing is Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA. When your claim is not accepted, sometimes you need that. So just know you have 120 days a year. Some places I think are offering more, which is weird to me. I never really understood that. But it's 120 days typically. And as long as you're on FMLA, they have to protect your job. So those are two things I really want you to do, is follow your CA17, your doctor's orders, and use FMLA if you need it when your claim is not accepted. And when you're going to be out of work, call the number that they require you to call. We had someone that didn't call the number and got fired. I think they got their job back because the union president was strong. But that's not a guarantee, obviously. So call the number, be sure you're, you know, following all the rules, and you know, protect your own job.
Kara Henderson said, LOL, Dr. Rashomwala would have to buy out your whole stock of books. Dr. Rashomwala, get with the program. I mean, we're only 5 minutes away. We can drop off all of our books.
I'll drop them down to you.
And Zolma, I just pinned right down below, right there where it says comment pinned, what the website is to buy the book. It's $14.95, and we have bulk sales going on right now, $25, $50, and $100, and the prices are in the website when you go to the website.
And the website is breakingowcp.com.
Okay, Barbara Perkins says, if I go out on a CA2 claim, can I go back to work on limited duty after surgery? Can I teach at a rural academy?
Yeah, you can do all that stuff. If you make money in some other way outside of the agency, they'll just ask you to report that on your CA7, I think on page 2. But yeah, you can definitely do all that.
Evans Juice, hey, if your doctor says you can only work 2 hours a day, they still can make you work. How can you get 8 hours of pay?
Well, okay, so let's say your doctor says you can work 2, and your typical shift is 8. So on your CA7A, you put that you work 2 hours, and you claim LWOP for the other 6.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
Christina Marie said, what is an occupational rehabilitation or work hardening program?
So those are programs that are designed to help you get back to work faster. Most doctors don't like to do work hardening in OWCP, but that's what they are. They're just programs that are meant to help you get stronger and back to work.
Joe Bach said, any news about New Yorkers doctors? Yes.
Yeah.
We're so close.
Yeah, we have offices that have been committed to in New York, and we'll give you more information on that as we go. But we've got commitments to a dozen or more offices right now.
Yeah,
so
we're trying to get them in all the boroughs. Yeah. So it's convenient for everybody, because we know between Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, all of that is a lot of you guys out there.
Yep.
Christopher Filecci.
Hey.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to read the book that I ordered. Yes, and you ordered too for a friend. Jerry said, thank you. Great advice.
Thanks, Jerry.
Okay, so again, tonight's topic has been how to protect your job. We hope that we gave you enough information and you use this information. Don't forget to call in when you're out of work. Call that 800 number that you guys are given.
Call in, follow your CA17, and use FMLA if you need it.
Yeah, and also the book. I'm trying to make it so it's not like shiny.
It's okay, it's this.
www.breakingowcp.com. Again, we have bulk orders. And for those of you that didn't hop on right at the beginning, we're going to do a quick 10-minute video on Saturday for 4th of July. We have a Christmas in July special going on, And so watch out for that. It will be really quick. It'll just be a 24-hour special for 4th of July / Christmas in July. He didn't know what Christmas in July was all about.
It's in December.
Yeah. So
I'm sure of it.
Kevin Hall said 28 people at the North Texas plant infected with COVID-19, 1 death. What do they do?
Okay, you got to have your doctor confirm in writing that you have it or that you've been exposed to it. And by the way, go to my Twitter page at Fed Injury Center. I posted this document there that you're definitely going to want, especially you are going to want this. But you have to be able to have documented proof that you either have it or were exposed to it. And then you'll be off for 14 days and you'll get paid to be off. This is not OWCP necessarily, but if it is, they'll also cover that probably as a CA1 claim because you generally come in contact with it in a single shift. But go to at Fed Injury Center on Twitter, at Fed Injury Center, and scroll through. There's not that much stuff to scroll through, but you'll find a COVID flyer. It's going to be really important for you.
Yeah, I don't know what time we're going to do the video. Not too late.
And not too early.
And not too early either. It'll, we don't
Midday.
have a time
We'll do it sometime
what we're doing. But you will have 24 hours to watch it, and
we'll give you more information then.
You'll see. Ron Jackson, I'll be calling you at the office tomorrow.
Excellent.
Kara Henderson is LOL. Can we get rid of judgy coworkers?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We both said yeah.
Everyone stop being judgy. Man, for real. Cut that out.
Christopher said, when I spoke to Dr. Ellis, he was trying to get a clinic in the tri-state area. Not sure what the update with that is. Unfortunately, yeah, Dr. Ellis is his own individual person.
Great guy. He knows
clinic. Yeah.
He knows a lot, but he and I are not in regular contact.
Yeah.
But he's really good. I'm glad you went to him.
What did you used to say? He's like the god of OWCP.
He's like the grandfather of OWCP.
He's the god, yeah, and then he's the
no,
grandson.
I'm definitely not the god. But look, when the first time I met Dr. Ellis, I knew I met my match. That guy really knows his stuff.
He's so funny too on the phone.
He's brilliant. He really is brilliant.
BK Harvey, what about taking vacation via annual leave while on OWCP? In my case, just need rest.
Well, you can take vacation, but you have to just mark it as vacation time. If you have it available, you're allowed to take vacation.
Christopher said, AKA Winston Churchill for Dr. Ellis.
No doubt. No doubt.
Prakash says, does your supervisor give you in writing that they don't have a job as per doctor's restriction?
Yeah, well, you want them to give it to you in writing. So definitely request that. And if they won't give it to you in writing, then you document it yourself and sign it, give them a copy. Put them on notice because you're going to use that for your CA7s. Whatever you do, when you send your CA7 in, be sure there is some sort of documentation that they wouldn't let you work.
Chris Wake said, thank you for the info.
Yeah.
So much to know, and management will not tell you the truth. And, we get these calls so often that, they don't know if they should believe what I'm saying or Jennifer. I mean, we have people bouncing around through emails and text messages, but trust us when we say that management may not know what the answer is, and you guys may think they're not telling the truth. I'm not trying to knock on management, or maybe they are not telling you the truth. So this is why we're here, to answer all your questions in real time, give you honest, real answers, and if we don't get to your answers, just message us. We both have personal Facebooks. We have the Wednesday night chats between myself, Chris, Tom, Jennifer, and Emmy. We're all trying to answer your questions and all your emails and stuff like that.
Hey, but speaking of management, Chapter 15 is called Just in Case, Management Lessons in Leadership and Effective Management. So, you may just want to get this book just to give Chapter 15 to your manager. I doubt they're ever going to buy it otherwise. But I've got a pretty extensive management background and education. And so I wrote some stuff just for them in the book because the book wouldn't be complete unless I was telling them how to do their job too. All
right, and last thing here, Vicky Davenport just bought the book. Thank you guys for everything you all are doing.
Thank you.
You guys rock. Nicole said you guys are informative, always much appreciated. So with that said, we thank you guys again. We're always looking for content that you guys want us to talk about, so always message us.
Yeah.
We will be glad to take your suggestion and discuss it, because we don't know 100% what you guys need to know. So always contact us.
It's hard to know what you think. I mean, as much of a mind reader as I am, it's hard. And then the internet gets in the way, and Zuckerberg doesn't really allow me to mind read on Facebook. So just let me know.
Diamond Dana said, what happens if you're in an accident while on OWCP? Now, are you talking about a work accident, or are you talking about a regular accident?
So it really just depends.
Yeah, so that's why you need to tell us. And then Evans Juice said, what about if the job offer don't follow the doctor's restrictions, but management still wants you to accept it?
Well, what I've been told by union leaders is that you sign it and you write signing in protest, and then take it back to your doctor and have them review it, and have the doctor write a letter explaining why you can or cannot do that job. So,
Diamond, you're just saying this has nothing to do with your job. You weren't like carrying mail, or you're some federal government employee. You just got into just a regular accident. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can have an accident after a work injury, and it can make your work injury worse. They're not going to stop covering your treatment. You're going to be fine on that. And that really sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you. But
yeah, it was a regular accident.
They'll let you. You're going to keep getting treated, because it's like the broken egg. You know, it can be cracked and not broken. Well, you were cracked, and maybe now the egg broke. They're going to still help you.
Oh, say hi to Gizmo, Ron. I will.
Yeah.
He's just being a little booger today. Anyway, so with that said, don't forget our apps are up. We have on the iPhone and the Android. Go to your Play Store, or what is it?
Google Play or the Apple iTunes.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Is it iTunes?
I don't know.
No, that's music.
It's your app store.
Yeah, your app store or Google Play. And download Federal Injury Center's app. And there's so much information on there, like forms, locations of doctors. And as we grow and add more doctors and we get specialists, they'll all be listed on there. So go check it out. Give us your feedback on it.
There's an injury checklist. Like, what do you do when you're hurt at work? So we put the checklist on there. And then there's a frequently asked questions section that is really informative as well.
Yeah. So all you got to do is just create an account, and I'm going to start working on it myself, where you can go on the app and actually watch us live.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an option too. You'll get a reminder. I just have to do some settings, so that way those of you that do have it, you'll get the text notification when we go live.
Yep.
And yeah.
Okay.
We hope that we answered everyone's questions tonight, and you know what to do to protect your job while you're on your OWCP injury. And don't forget to check out our apps. Don't forget to send us your doctors that are interested in becoming a franchise with Federal Injury Centers. And stay tuned for Saturday.
And don't forget, breakingowcp.com.
Yes, we are going to be rescheduling the virtual convention.
Yeah.
Definitely 100%. We know that was important to a lot of you. So, and one more thing. As those of you are not having regular union meetings, if anybody wants us to attend a virtual union meeting through Zoom or Skype, tell your presidents, get your stewards, and we will be glad to host a virtual training as well, specifically for your group.
Yep.
Or group of friends.
We'd love to be able to see you. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, we could do it for a group of friends. You guys get your wine and cheese and crackers, and or maybe vodka. I don't know. And we'll do a virtual Zoom or Skype.
Yeah.
But until next week, guys, you guys are both awesome. Thank you.
You're awesome.
Thank you, guys. Can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about the book and how many people are going to be on there ordering. Yeah. I'm the sales book girl.
And please don't forget, send me your ideas. Send me what you want to see in volume 2, and also those of you that have had like nightmare stories with OWCP.
Please send them.
Send me those. I want to read those, and I'm probably going to incorporate it into a third book. So I'd really like your input.
Take your picture with the book and tell us, so we could post it. And when you send it to us, we'd like to know if we could post it, and we'd like other people to see what you guys think, so other people can join in.
Thanks for Dr. Rushmore being on tonight. He's our doctor in Clearwater.
Dr. Patron.
Dr. Padron was on in Chicago.
In Chicago.
So thank you guys for being on tonight.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great
All right.
Wednesday night.
Good
See
night.
you Saturday. Bye.